Thank you once again, Prince Fuwe. God bless you so, so, so much.
For me, I didn't quite really know what to expect, to be honest. I've gone through a number of coaching experiences myself on a personal level, but I wasn't just quite sure what to expect. And one thing that has resonated for me and has been very validating is the quantum series. That was one. And just that continual reference to the roots, to the causes, to, okay, somebody present themselves to you. It's not in your place to just get on and start to, you know, how do I put it? Put them straight. Let me say, oh, you just see something that is broken, you're quick to fix. It's more about stepping back, peeling the layers back to know why is this person presenting like this. And I think for me, from an African perspective, it resonated even deeper with me. It's something I've always known, but it's almost as if I'm being forced to move away from that thinking pattern. Hearing it from an African perspective, you know, to be like, no, you need to know your childhood. You need to understand. That's my background as a professional. But hearing it from this angle was very, very validating for me that, okay, it's not just, you know, I'm not just working on an Uyibos kind of system. This is, we're human beings, and it would always come up, and it's something to deal with so that you can move forward. So that was very, very validating for me. I have done a lot of personality tests myself, but I cannot believe how defining the psychometric test we did. The way it has defined me has been extremely, extremely profound. And I'm now very quick to even go back to people that maybe I'm no longer working with, to be like, oh, that is a dependable Ford kind of person, like just intuitively, like, because of the tools. And in my interpersonal relationship, just understanding, oh, this is where this person is coming from. So, you know, being less critical, less judgmental, more empathetic. I have been blessed to be part of this team.
There's so much to say, but I'm just going to say just this one thing. So first, it's been mind-changing. It's been mind-blowing. I've always seen issues around family life. I've seen a lot of people teach what to do. And every time I see that, I get so angry because I'm like, this hasn't been taking people to the place they want to be. Can somebody just tell us how to do it? They tell you submit to your husband, work together, but how do we actually do it? I saw the certification program, and then I told my husband I'm going to take this class. But one thing that stood out for me when we started the class was the assignments of going to check what was going to happen in 2050. When I saw that, I'm like, so where do I even find this information of what's going to happen in 2050? And then I went online and then I saw that. So what that did to me is to be able to create solution even before the problem happened. And so personally for me, it's helped me in my personal life. I'm thinking ahead and I'm creating solution even before the problem happened. So I'm so excited to be here, and I'm up for family systems engineering. I'll talk about it anywhere, any day, and anytime. Thank you so much, everyone.
You know, for me, I kept saying from the beginning, by the virtue of what I do, I've come across cases, people, and I know the problem, but I don't have what it takes to help them. So what FSC has done to me is like, it has placed tools in my hand with which I can confidently say, I want to help people that are having problem in their marriage. Like I have, just like Coach Fumi, I've attended courses on counseling, courses on marriage counseling, but this time around, I can confidently say I have what it takes to help someone to to be able to help people navigate through their challenges. I remember a particular case that my husband and I navigate through their challenges. I remember a particular case that my husband and I handled 2023. We knew the problem, we knew what to do, but we don't have what it takes. So when I started FSC, and I told him, I said, Kai, I wish I've done this. Maybe we'll have been able to help this lady better. Maybe we'll have been able to salvage that marriage. But the principles, like every principle that I've learned, somehow I've always known them. But the tools, and I think that's where what stood out for me in this training, as in the tools. And I told myself, I said, Kai, I'm just happy, but I every day I tell myself there is work to do. There is work to do. There is work to do for me to become the kind of coach that I desire to be. So I'm grateful that I passed through this training. Truth is, it's been a very enlightening journey, and I'm grateful that I finally found what I've been looking for.
I want to say thank you to the Institute. Appreciate all our facilitators. They've been amazing. They have, in the last 12 weeks, imparted so much into us selflessly. Like every session was just, you could see the selflessness in them. They were wanting to give it all. They were taking their time to ensure that we grasp everything and break things down for us. I would say about 2-3 years ago, I've practiced as a nurse for many years, but 3 years ago, I would say, I decided to go on a journey of personal development. So I attended a series of courses on parenting, on emotional intelligence, healing for myself. So I've been on a journey, and sometime in 2023, August precisely, I started a community for women. But I realized that working with women was a growth community to help women, emerge into the best versions of themselves. I host different webinars and things, but I realized that a lot of women were coming to me for family-related issues, marriage-related issues, even the single ones who were in relationships were struggling. And I'll listen, like you said, for hours and not really know what direction to, take them through. So if I attended this year, I said, I want to get a certification to be able to stand as an authority in this field, to be able to support women, whatever pertains to family and parenting, raising children and all. So thankfully, I found this, the webinar on Facebook. I saw the ad on Facebook, and that was how I joined that webinar. And from there, after that webinar with PF, I just knew this is what I've been looking for. And my expectations in fact, it met way beyond my expectations. Every part of this program has been simply insightful. It has unraveled so many things, handed us a lot of tools, I would say. Like now, I'm no longer thinking, oh, what should I be doing with this person? I'm already planning ahead how to, execute the things that I've learned. Because now I know, there are already loads of people filling the assessment forms from my community. So I've got more to work on already. So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity.
On my social media, I write a lot about family, parenting, and it's a passion I've nursed for years. So I started teaching primary school after my BSc in environmental management. And I discovered my passion was just pushing me, So I stumbled upon Praise for Always post on FSEC on Facebook, and I was like, wow, this is just it. Like I needed a platform to grow. I needed a platform. I needed training. I needed I needed to be equipped. So I commented and I said, I'm interested. And he replied to my comments and he gave me the details, but I was not able to. That's 3 years ago because I didn't have the funds. I was just passionate. And so this year I saw the advert again. I said, no, this is my time. So I believe that this is just my time, and FSEC has given me that platform to be a voice to the world, to be a source of healing to families all over the world. First of all, this training has been of impact to me. I discovered that FSEC is first to the individual. It's first of all a training for the individual, then for people outside. So it has been of immense impact to me. Every tool of it from the beginning to the end. In fact, my what I'm doing is to run FSEC for my family, like myself, my wife, you know,
Appreciate all our facilitators. They've been amazing. They have, in the last 12 weeks, imparted so much into us selflessly. Like, session was just, you could see selflessness in them. They were wanting to give it all. They were taking their time to ensure that we grasp everything and break things down for us. I would say about 2, 3 years ago, I've practiced as a nurse for many years, but 2, 3 years, 3 years ago, I would say, I decided to go on a journey of personal development. So I attended series of courses on parenting, on emotional intelligence, healing for myself. So I've been on a journey, and sometime in 2023, August precisely, I started a community for women. But I realized that working with women was a growth community to help women, emerge into the best versions of themselves. I host different webinars and things, but I realized that a lot of women were coming to me for family-related issues, marriage-related issues, even the single ones who were in relationships were struggling. And I'll listen, like you said, for hours and not really know what direction to, take them through. So if I attended this year, I said, I want to get a certification to be able to stand as an authority in this field, to be able to support women, whatever pertains to family and parenting, raising children and all. So thankfully, I found the webinar on Facebook. I saw the ad on Facebook, and that was how I joined that webinar. And from there, after that webinar with PF, I just knew this is what I've been looking for. And my expectations in fact, it met way beyond my expectations. Every part of this program has been simply insightful. It has unraveled so many things, handed us a lot of tools, I would say. Like now, I'm no longer thinking, oh, what should I be doing with this person? I'm already planning ahead how to, execute the things that I've learned. Because now I know, there are already loads of people filling the assessment forms from my community. So I've got more to work on already. So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity.
On my social media, I write a lot about family, parenting, and it's a passion I've nursed for years. So I started teaching primary school after my BSc in environmental management, and I discovered my passion was just pushing me, you know. So I I stumbled upon Praiseful Sports on FSEC on Facebook, and I was like, wow, this is just it. Like I needed a platform to grow. I needed a platform. I needed training. I needed I needed to be equipped. So I commented and I said, I'm interested. And he replied to my comment and he gave me the details, but I was not able to. That's 3 years ago because I didn't have the funds. I was just passionate. And so this year I saw the advert again. I said, no, this is my time. So I believe that this is just my time, and FSEC has given me that platform to be a voice to the world, to be a source of, you know, healing to families all over the world. First of all, this training has been of impact to me. I discovered the FSEC is first to the individual. You know, is first of all a training for the individual, then for people outside. So it has been of immense impact to me. Every tool of it from the beginning to the end. In fact, my what I'm doing is to run FSEC for my family, like myself, my wife. You know, it's a timeless tool, and the triangle of life, oh, is so amazing, really, really amazing. So I want to thank everyone in FSEC. I just see this as a garden of global minds, and I'm grateful to be part of this movement. It's to me, it's an army of transformation and change. Thank you once again, Praiseful Way. God bless you so, so, so much.
For me, I didn't quite really know what to expect, to be honest. I've gone through a number of coaching experiences myself on a personal level, but I wasn't just quite sure what to expect. And one thing that has resonated for me and has been very validating is the Quantum series. That was one. And just that continual reference to the roots, to the causes, to, okay, somebody present themselves to you. It's not in your place to just get on and start to, you know, how do I put them straight? Let me say, oh, you just see something that is broken, you're quick to fix. It's more about stepping back, peeling the layers back to know why is this person presenting like this. And I think for me, from an African perspective, it resonated even deeper with me. It's something I've always known, but it's almost as if I'm away from that thinking pattern. Hearing it from an African perspective, you know, to be like, no, you need to know your childhood. You need to understand. That's my background as a professional. But hearing it from this angle was very, very validating for me that, okay, it's not just, you know, I'm not just working on an Uyibos kind of system. This is, we're human beings, and it would always come up, and it's something to deal with so that you can move forward. So that was very, very validating for me. I have done a lot of personality tests myself, but I cannot believe how defining the psychometric test we did. The way it has defined me has been extremely, extremely profound. And I'm now very quick to even go back to people that maybe I'm no longer working with, to be like, oh, that is a dependable Ford kind of person. Like, just intuitively, like, because of the tools. And in my interpersonal relationship, just understanding, oh, this is where this person is coming from. So being less critical, less judgmental, more empathetic. I have been blessed to be part of this team.
There's so much to say, but I'm just going to say just this one thing. So first, it's been mind-changing. It's been mind-blowing. I've always seen issues around family life. I've seen a lot of people teach what to do. And every time I see that, I get so angry because I'm like, this hasn't been taking people to the place they want to be. Can somebody just tell us how to do it? They tell you submit to your husband, work together, but how do we actually do it? I saw the certification program and then I told my husband I'm going to take this class. But one thing that stood out for me when we started the class was the assignments of going to check what was going to happen in 2050. When I saw that, I'm like, so where do I even find this information of what's going to happen in 2050? And then I went online and then I saw that. So what that did to me is to be able to create solution even before the problem happened. And so personally for me, it's helped me in my personal life. I'm thinking ahead and I'm creating solution even before the problem happened. So I'm so excited to be here, and I'm up for family systems engineering. I'll talk about it. And
good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Can you all hear me and can you see me? Can you all hear me and can you see me? Hello? Am I here by myself or am I here with people? Good morning, good afternoon.
We can see you and we can hear you.
Good evening. We can hear you and see you.
Awesome, awesome. It is so good to be here again. I am excited. We had a blast. For those that are just joining us, if this is your day one, today is actually day 2, but if it's your day 1, just put in the chat box, this is my day 1. But if this is for team day 2, please put in the chat box team day 2. If you were here yesterday, please let us know how your experience was. What would you surmise yesterday as? In one word, how would you rate yesterday? Okay, this is my team day 1. Ade, you are welcome. You are in the right place. Trust me. You're welcome. And our numbers are still low. You know how we do it. Please let us go to our Facebook or your WhatsApp status. Please invite as many people as you can. Yesterday, I was talking about how this was, how I sat down somewhere years ago and someone was talking about day 1. I see a lot of team day 1 today. You all are welcome. It's good to have more people. And I know our numbers are going to soar. This is the SOAR conference, or this is the SOAR webinar. Yes, team day 2 right here. Let me give you an emoji. Let me give you an emoji. Whoo! Yes, we are flying onto day 2. I'm excited to see some people from day 2. If this is day 1 for you, you are in the right place and you haven't missed much. I believe that we would get the recording. This is being recorded, so we will all get the recording before the end of today, I believe. But please, our numbers can go higher. You registered. Good to see you. You're welcome. Team day 2, rejoice. This is for you right here. Oh, yes. This is for you right here. My team day 2 in the house. Put in the chat box, team day 2. Right? Let's celebrate you. Please go out there and invite someone. Yesterday, I gave a special shout out to someone who encouraged me to take this class years ago. Now, let me ask, who can imagine or who can guess? Please, if you know me from my sets, this is not for you. Who can guess when I did the FSC program? Who can guess? Who can guess? I have some clues here. So each time I go anywhere, I don't forget to go with my notes. This was the note I took notes on. It is filled with stuff I wrote when I sat in class to attend it. I have my my workbook somewhere, I will make sure to show you that. I have everything I used then because it has been timeless. That's how I describe it. Who can guess when I did my FSC? That is how, not old, but that's how long it's been. You are welcome, everyone. Our numbers are growing. I'm excited about that. We can still go further. We can still go further. Team Day 2, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Team Day 2, welcome. I see you, Rejoice. I see you, Felix Smart. I see each and every one of you. You are welcome. If you have invited someone, please go out and re-invite the person, okay? Please go out and re-invite the person. Yesterday, Mr. Fowowe gave us an assignment to do. If you are from Team Day 2 and you have done your assignment, please put in the chat box, yes, I have. If you were able to complete your assignment, of course, I want to believe we remember what the assignment was, but day 1 was super packed, and day 2 is nothing short of that. Okay, let me see. So yesterday we were asked to write a personal commitment statement of belief change. We were also asked to share our experiences on social media. For those that did that, thank you so much for doing that. One thing that is very consistent with this program is you will definitely get your hands in the field. It is not your regular program where you just do it and that's all. There is follow-up. There's a whole lot of things, a lot of hand-holding during the process to help everyone through. So welcome once again. Yes, thank you so much for joining us, Ade. Our numbers are still going higher. I am grateful for that. I believe the numbers can still go higher. So if you have not invited someone, please go to your family WhatsApp group, your secondary school WhatsApp group, your church WhatsApp group, wherever it is, just go on there and invite one more person. Okay. So anybody wants to share with us something that stood out for you yesterday? Anybody wants to share something that stood out for you yesterday? I see a lot of people. Someone says, I have not completed it yet. I like that you put yet. So that means it is work in progress and you're still working towards it. That is amazing. I'm glad that that is work in progress. So anybody wants to share what stood out for them from the last session, the last webinar? Anybody wants to share? What is something that stood out for you from the last webinar? I believe a lot of people. Oh, thank God. I want to give you a hug right now, Uchechi. You can unmute your mic and share.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I was blown away yesterday. I was dumbfounded. At the end of the meeting, I just kept looking around. Like I never knew this kind of setting existed, and I'm really grateful to Mr. Pastor Kende who invited me. I'm super grateful. Yesterday, a whole lot of points were made, a whole lot of nuggets were shared, and one of the major things that stood out for me is that I am enough. I'm enough. I have what it takes already to start. The fact that one is not married or is going through marital challenge or is divorced does not disqualify the person to be in a family life practitioner. As long as, first off, there is passion, as long as you're willing to get your hands easy, like you rightly just said, as long as you're willing to put in the work and there's that passion, that belief that you can go the extra mile, you're already enough. I'm already enough. One other thing that stood out for me, I didn't quite catch his slide when he was sharing the statistics. That was a major, it was mind blowing. As a matter of fact, I was still thinking about it before this meeting started. When the time when he was sharing, I can't remember the figures now, but in Africa, There are people going through mental health issues. Generally, under one umbrella, family life problems. There are millions. And if we are to divide all of us as a term in the core, and it require, at the last number, I think he said it will require us to train 120,000 family life practitioners to be able to sort all those kind of problems. My goodness, it's a whole lot I can't even put in words now, but yesterday was really mind blowing. I'm very grateful to Coach Prince for it. It's my very first time encountering him, hearing him, knowing of his name, everything first time. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, I remember at the beginning we were asked to just wrap our hands around ourselves and celebrate yourself. And I still want you to do that. Wherever you are, just thank yourself for being in this gathering. You could have been anywhere. You could have been resting. You could have just been just looking around on your phone, but you chose to be here. So please celebrate yourself. Our numbers are still going up. I am excited about that. It can still go higher. I believe yesterday we had over, we had a good number. We had a good number here, over 100 people, and I know it's still going to soar. So if you have not invited someone, please do that. And Uchechi, I appreciate that you are taking your time to consistently thank the person that invited you here. Once again, please go in the chat box and give a shout out to whoever invited you to this webinar. Trust me, you would one day have your name being scrolled as somebody saying thank you to you for inviting them to this webinar. So please go in the chat box and give a shout out. I will call out the names of those people. They would later watch this, very soon, and they would also be grateful that you appreciated them. Gratitude is one of the highest for places where you can be. It's the highest form of vibration. So if you are always in that state of gratitude, trust me, things just begin to move in speed of light for you. So go in the chat box right now and say a big thank you to whoever it is that invited you. I gave a shout out to someone who encouraged me to do this a couple of years ago, and that was Miss Ronke Oluwaleri. Yeah, I got to talk with her yesterday on call. Actually, spoke with her. We chatted rather, and I still said thank you for just giving me that opportunity or pushing me to do this, and I do not regret it. So please go in the chat box. You have two things to do. Put in a thank you note to whoever invited you here, and please make it a point of duty to invite someone. Our numbers have gone almost ×2 of what it was when we started, and I am grateful for that. So right about now, I am going to bring up someone who would like to share their testimony of what their experience has been so far here with the Family Systems Engineering course. Coach Glory, are you here? I see you. I see you. I see you. Please unmute your mic.
Hello.
I need to give you. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I needed to give you access. Go ahead, Coach Glory.
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening. Can you hear me? I can't seem to hear you, ma'am.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Do I need to turn on my video or it's fine? It's
You can. I want to see your lovely face.
It's not so bright. That's why it's not so bright. So let me go to a brighter space. Okay, can you see me now?
Yay! Now I see you. Hello.
Hi. Good evening. And my testimony or testimonial, as it's called, about FSC was that I did it in 2025. That was last year. And it was mind-blowing. From the very first session and everything I learned, I had been a counselor kind of, and I've been helping people, but I had no structure. So I was just trying to put things together, sometimes it becomes overwhelming and I'll go and hide again because I'll be like, this is too much for me. But when I got the FSC program, when I did it, the framework, the tools and everything, it was now clearer. It was now easier to be able to diagnose people's problems when they come to you. Because when you just ask questions, people give you any answer they feel like giving you. But with our structure, with the tools, you are able to get insight into the real problem that these people are facing, and you'll be able to solve it easily. Like after then, I was able to work with a couple. My first session, my very first session with a couple after the program, and I got a lot of results. There was a couple that said, the woman was like, I'm just giving this man 6 months. If it's not serious, I'm leaving this marriage. And I'm like, let's do this, let's do this. And after the program, she was like, fine, I'm ready to continue working on this. I told her it's not going to be like magic, but you must be willing to adjust to each other until you get to where you want to get to. And I can say that I see the progress. I can say that she has changed her mind from giving ultimatum, I have to leave here and all. She's no more eager to leave. She's seeing that these things, when we did the tree of life, she saw where these things were coming from. She saw the background of the man, and she saw that it needed patience and it needed her to, it was so obvious that the problem was coming from his background, his foundation, how he could show love and all. But she could see it and she could say, okay, this is it. She also saw the willingness in him to change, but it's not something that you switch off a light and switch it on. So it has to take some process, it has to take some patience. And I was happy that I could do that, because before now, I don't think I would have been able to do that based on the knowledge I had, based on the tools I didn't have. So that's my experience with FSC. And it made me to register a business properly. It made me to have that confidence that this is what I want to do. I even have my account number, everything as a proper business, as a proper practice, not just any kind of thing. And so I'm grateful for Mommy Mo that invited me the first time, and for how much I have improved, I've learned, I've become. Thank you. That's what I have to say.
To give you a virtual high five or high 10. Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I see in the chat box, people are saying thank you. Somebody saying thank you to Pastor K of Life. Yes. He was actually in my class when we did the FSC, and amazing set. And I see someone is saying thank you to Pastor Kehinde. A big God bless you. Big God bless you to Mommy Mo as well, our Mommy of Life. Thank you so much for sharing that amazing testimony, Coach. All right, so we also have Coach Nancy. Coach Nancy, are you here? Let me look for you.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, so where you at? Where's Coach? Where's my coach? Can I spotlight you? Is your video turned on? Yeah, there you are. Hi, over to you, Coach Nancy.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Nancy. So I'm just here to share my testimonial, how being a family life practitioner and going through the institute have really impacted me. I came into the institute when I wasn't really a practitioner and I wasn't into any practice. I just had a strong desire to help people get it right and just kind of like have experience bliss in their marriages and stuff like that. And I had an issue where I kind of like the burden of maybe helping couples had rested much on religious heads, and they were so busy handling the church and they couldn't really spend much time on. And I was like, without being a religious practitioner, or can I still do this practice? That's when I started sourcing out for institutes where I could have certifications, and I came across the family systems course. I took the course, and someone like me, I always like to share my testimony because I know that there are people here that can be, maybe they're starting from the same point like me. Maybe you're starting from ground zero and you're like, is this really for me? That practitioners are here. Maybe I don't yet have any practice. I felt the same way. But one of the things that Coach PF said when I took this this particular webinar was that even if you don't have any practice and you just have a burden to help humanity, you are the right person to be here. And that was a goal for me. And I took it, and see, the first impact for me was my home. I thought I was coming to the family systems engineering certification course to like help families, but I was the one who ended up getting transformed. Like at some point, my husband was like, "Who are you in this body? Like, who are you?" Because of the transformation, it was, I mean, my life practically changed within the first 3 months because it's a 3 months program. Everything, I was tested, I was tried. Whenever challenges come, I just go to the toolbox, I pick a tool from there, I apply it, and it was just working. Even if I didn't have any practice, just that result alone was already massive for me. Knowing what to do, knowing how to go about stuff, knowing how to navigate real life issues, and then coming back to the practice, I was able to set up a practice, helping people one family at a time, one person at a time. And it has been so great. I mean, the hope that it brings to the community, where people know that you know them, it saves time. At first, people are afraid to go to counselors because they feel that they have to spill out their debt out there, right? Because you know, when couples are having challenges, probably they might have hurt each other so much that they're scared of meeting a counselor because they feel that it's going to spill out everything. But with the OLI, they don't really need to spill out anything to you. You just give them the diagnosis and you're able to tell them without them really having to bring out the maybe the dead where they went nasty with each other, and they feel comfortable talking about stuff with you because you just tell them who they are from the diagnosis. It saves time. It is well structured. I mean, I'm able to take the people, the couples, the clients from a start point, and I know where this is going to end. That system, that's having predictable results with what you are doing. And for me, that's massive. And I've been able to help families. I remember there's this couple I was working with. I was helping them build a dream team formation. And after that, I told them the importance of legacy. I mean, they took this so seriously. They had to involve their entire family. And by this December, they're going to be going for an entire family get together. It's a polygamous family, a large family get together. Thanks to this program, it's the first that is ever going to be happening in their family at large. And that was massive for me. I will recommend this to anyone. The results are so many. I don't even know where to start from. The tools, the skills, everything. I don't even know where to start from, but I will recommend everyone on this call to sign up for this course. It is life transforming. It is life transforming. You get your loved ones to sign up for the course. Get everyone that you know to sign up for the course, and you are going to share this same testimony. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. I was looking for the hug emoji. I want to hug you virtually, but I couldn't find it. But I'll give you, like, my hands are up for you. Thank you so much for sharing that passionately. And this is not even, I am speechless, really, because I don't know how I can really, thank this institute, because everything she has said and more. At some point, she said, I don't even know what to say. And that's how you feel when you take the program. This is not paid advert. It's just you seeing results. And like most people always say, you come in here thinking, okay, I'm just going to be a coach and coach people. But then you see, okay, I need to be coached. I need, this thing it has to work for me first. It has to work for me first, because broken people will only end up breaking others. But when you come in here, there's something about it that just reforms your mindset. I appreciate that testimony, and I could relate with everything that you said. While you were talking, I just remembered, because I told you this is actually the text. I don't know if you can see. Okay, I blurred my screen because you guys are seeing my kitchen initially. But this is my textbook from years ago, and I know it has gone through a lot of revision, but this is still very useful, very timeless, way applicable till right now. I took this course years ago. I have my textbook, which I still refer to, my workbook rather. I have my notes I still refer to. Like, I don't travel anywhere. I travel with this and my other stuff. This is always in I'm a lady, I carry a big purse, right? This is always in my purse. That's how serious it is. So if you have not joined, if you have not even invited someone, trust me, that's not right. one more time, please go ahead and invite one more person to this program, okay? Invite somebody to this webinar. The person will be grateful you did. And yes, our numbers are still soaring. I know it's still gonna go higher. I know people are still gonna invite people, but without much ado, we are going to be handing the mic over to our director of programs. She taught me then, I was in her class, and she didn't come to play. Really, she didn't come to play. She's the queen of happiness. That's what's, that's her brand name. She's very jovial, happy, but when it comes to class, she's not even joking with you. Very passionate professor of the Institute. I would like to welcome Miss Dimma. Are you there? Yeah, there you are. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nene, for that welcome. And thank you to everyone who testified. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you to the other lady. And it's always great to hear people talk about how taking this course has not only improved their lives, but also improved the work that they do. So thank you so much for that. So let's get into the business of day 2. For those of you who were here yesterday, I have read some of the comments that the people who did the home play have put. I want to recommend that it's not just enough to say, oh, yesterday was so great, I learned a lot. Like Nene said, you will be forced, not forced brutally, but you cannot encounter this body of knowledge and not want to do something. So I want to encourage you to do that exercise, particularly if you're passionate about Africa, if you're passionate about being one of the people who posterity will remember as the men and women who rebuilt Africa through effective family systems. So we're going to continue the conversation from where Praise stopped yesterday and just take it a bit higher. Generally, for these 2 days, we are looking at the new rules of family life practice. And yesterday, you looked at probably the things that could be sabotaging you, how your belief system may be responsible for your current result, which it is. Now, your curiosity may be, what are these rules? Okay, I've seen where I'm not so confident. I've seen what I need to improve on, but I still want to know, what are these rules of new practice of family life? And that is what I will be sharing with you today. So if you're excited and you're looking forward to learning the new rules of family life practice for transformational results, I want you to come to the chat room and say, I'm ready, let's go. You can either give me a thumbs up or put a yes there, and I know that everyone is with me on this journey. Okay, so the first law of the new rules of family life practice that we will be considering is the law of borderlessness. When you think of a border is something that puts restrictions from somebody moving from one place to the other. And so in countries, you're going to see borders where you want to migrate from one country to the other, from one city to the other, right? And if we say that for you to thrive in today's world and build and run a profitable, a transformational family life practice, you need to embrace the law of borderlessness. What are we talking about? It means that you must be able to work with clients from everywhere that you are. So it doesn't matter. Some of you that are on this call today do not reside in Nigeria. You have joined this call from different parts of the world because technology makes it possible for us to do that. Now think about it. In your own practice, if what you can only do is when people are with you physically in a location, your methodology is obsolete right now. If all you can do is work with people who belong to your particular faith-based organization, it means that your methodology cannot traverse religions. If what you do in your family life practice is only adaptable to your culture. Oh, this is how they do it. I'm from the Southwest. I'm from the this, that. And this is, if that is only what you know, if that is the argument you bring to your work, then you will not thrive, because the world has shrunken to a global village. With the new rules of family life practice, a Nigerian like me here, living in Lagos, Nigeria, I work with people across the globe, people who don't even, have never encountered Africa, don't know where I come from, don't know what my religion says, don't know what my tribe or creed is, because essentially there is a science to transformational family life. And if you don't know that science, you cannot work with people across borders. So the question is, for each rule that we're looking at, you want to be asking yourself, is this rule active in my business? Is this rule active in my practice? If currently it is not, what do I need to do? And I'm sure if you've been here, you have heard Nancy talk about the tools. Nancy even traveled all the way from Cameroon to Nigeria for the last conference, because it's so exciting what she has and how it has impacted her even far away there. I was hoping that she was going to talk about how she encountered even the course. It was just a random video that was sent to a WhatsApp group, and she listened to this WhatsApp video and she's like, who is this person? And that's how the search started, and she landed in the institute. I was waiting. Why did Nancy share this bit? Because it's something that would really make an impact. And that was actually the law of borderlessness. Because a young woman was in one village, one city in Cameroon, praying and wishing, I want to know how to do my own family better, but I don't have the resources. And then praise for Wowe had taught something somewhere, and it circulated, landed on a WhatsApp group that she belonged to. She listened to it and she's like, who is this person? This sounds like what I have been looking for. And then she went to YouTube, began to search, found him and found the institute. It is because praise has activated the law of borderlessness. And FSC tools and the community will also guide you to activate this law in your own practice, irrespective of your current level of knowledge and irrespective of your tribe, color, religion, or location. The second law that is important that we look at is the law of accurate and speedy diagnosis. You may be the wisest man in the room. You may have acquired a lot of degrees. Maybe there is a professor to your name, and I recognize and celebrate every effort you have put into that. But it's not sufficient what you know. You must be able to have the tools that assist your clients. It's also not sufficient to have the tools, because you could have an assortment of assessment tools that your clients will feel and feel and feel, and they're tired of writing, their hands are wobbly. Before you can even analyze all of those multiplicity of assessment, even you yourself, you are fagged out. You may be passionate, you want to help people, but your current system is, oh, they come to you, you sit, and they begin to lament. They begin to talk about the issues. The husband will spend almost 2 hours talking his own side of the story. That's even if the 2 hours is enough. Because oftentimes while he's talking, the wife interjects, they may have an argument, and maybe sometimes they could even become more very tense, that you might need to now calm them down before they settle in and the man continues. God help you, 2 hours is enough for him to share his own side of the story. Then the wife starts her own. And oftentimes when she's starting, instead of sharing her own side of the story, she wants to first of all respond to what the man said before she now starts her own. So you see that hers may even take longer than 2 hours, and time continues to go. You are exhausted, they are exhausted, they can't even retain whatever advice you want to give them, and it just drags and drags and drags. That is so ancient.
that is so obsolete if that is what you currently do, because you need to be able to have tools, diagnostic tools, that can help your client within speed and accuracy know what the issues are. And thankfully, Oyela.ai is here. And I see that the admin dropped it in the chat room. So even for self, excuse me, you can click on it. Not now, please, when the class is over. And take the assessment for yourself, so that you even know where are you at as a person, where is your family at, where is your mental health looking. There are a variety of assessments. And just as you click submit, you're going to get your results in your inbox, in your email. And that's the same thing you can do with your clients. If you're trained in the family systems engineering way, you get onboarded as a practitioner on the platform. And then when you have clients, you just send them the link and they take the assessment and the result is there instantly. So it has taken away the hours of just listening, the hours of having to manually analyze reports and all of that. That's the age we're in. That's the new rule of family life practice. And that is what will separate you, who is still doing analog and manual, with that person trained in FSC and has the access to Oyela.ai to activate accurate and speedy diagnosis. Like I said in law 1, you want to ask yourself, is this law activated in your practice? And to what extent is it activated? And if it is not activated and you're really passionate about family life, then you want to jump into the train, because this is where you can get that speedy and accurate diagnosis for the work that you do. We're moving on. The third law is the law of motion sensitivity. You know, in the past, people come to you, somebody has a problem, someone said, oh, there's this person you should talk to, you need to talk to this person, you need to do that, which is great. But in this new law of family life practice, you must master the tools that enable you to go and live with the people. And I want you to just, for a moment, imagine one of the oldest methodologies for getting businesses and clients is referrals. No doubt about that. But I want you to imagine for a moment, what if you're your client's best kept secret? What if your client does not want another person to know that, oh, something was going on with me and it was Nene that worked with me? And also because the line of practice that we're in is one where culture and beliefs have made people to shroud it in secrecy and in shame. If I go and tell her we're having issues and we worked with a family life coach, they will now carry our matter out there. Everybody is dealing with their own stuff, but nobody is coming out to talk about it. So you may even be your client's best kept secret. So even if you do a thorough job and you're expecting them to refer people to you, how do they refer people to you without people knowing that they once had to use you? So you see that if you're relying on referrals, you are waiting. You could wait endlessly. Yes, 1 or 2 can come. But imagine if you activate the law of motion sensitivity, where literally you are living in people's heads. Somebody chatted me in recent time, and I've been hearing that. And she said to me, the way your ads are pursuing me, I'm sure that you are making billions. I just, they laugh. I said, Abego, why are you equating ads to the money making? She said, if she comes to social media, before she will watch 1 or 2 videos, she's seeing something. But that is motion sensitivity. Because you need to go and live in the heads of people. I say to people, every day you have a cause to remember Chidinma Nwubi. Even if you don't remember Chidinma Nwubi, you remember my academy. Because you will see me everywhere. You're waking up, you're seeing me. You're sleeping, you're dreaming about me. Why? It doesn't happen by chance. It is activating the law of motion sensitivity. And it's not just ads. Ads could be one of it. But it's about the intentionality with which you signal. Maybe you are passionate about family life. How many people in your neighborhood know that you are passionate about family life? Maybe you even have a practice that you're building, no matter the level it is. How many people in your children's school, in your faith-based organization, in your town unions, I could go on and on and on, that once they think something about family life, they are telling the person, you don't need to bother, that's the person. It is because you're intentionally embodying who you are. It is because you're intentionally signaling. Anybody wants to do family life business and you think it's just about being passionate, you should just pack your passion in a box and go and throw it into the deepest ocean, because you must master social media. You must master business. You must master selling. You must master persuasion. Should I go on? You must master how to negotiate. You must master how people make decisions, because human beings are first emotional before they are logical. So if you don't know how to apply to the sensibilities of people emotionally, you may not even get the opportunity to do this work that you're most passionate about. And you see, we stay in our comfort zones, we stay in our exalted places, in our social media platforms, in our inner rooms, and we're complaining, oh, Olodo uprising is rising in Nigeria. It's gonna rise because you that has the intellect is keeping it in your box. Oh, the people who don't know anything are all over. This social media is corrupting our children. What is the counter content that you're producing? Oh my goodness, how can somebody believe that? People are going to believe. Somebody once said to me, and I held that to be true, what you continually tell people and show them, they will end up believing, whether it is true or false. So if you know the truth, but you have kept your own lamp under the table, where the scripture says you should put it on the table so that everybody shall see it, you have no moral justification to complain about those who are catching in the market, who are bringing in the business, who are influencing and shaping the mindset of our children, of our community, of our towns, because they understand the law of motion sensitivity. So is this law active in your life? Or are you like, oh, I'm such a private person. I don't want anybody to know what I know. I don't want anybody to come into my inner caucus. Let's stay in your inner caucus and live family life. Because even it's becoming more critical, because right now we are in the creator economy. We are in the creative economy. If you don't continually signal people, irrespective of how loaded you are, irrespective of you even hearing the word of the Lord saying to you directly, go and save marriages, it will not become any fruits for you without the law of motion sensitivity, because you must intentionally signal people to come to you and you be able to help them achieve the results that they so desperately need in their lives. Number 4. So we have looked at the law of borderlessness. We have looked at the law of what's the second one? We've looked at the law of accurate and speedy diagnosis, the law of motion sensitivity. Now let's consider the law of constant and never-ending improvement. Oh my goodness. Have you noticed that the rate of new information is faster than usual? In fact, every day seems like a new thing. Oh, before it was ChatGPT and all of us jumped into it. Now ChatGPT is even the baby of AI. Claude came and we jumped on Claude. Right now you're wondering Claude is like his learning work. So every day there is something new. It's not even only that. New research is coming. Before a long time, we were all stuck on Gary Chapman's research, which he did a beautiful work nonetheless. We're all stuck in it. If you didn't know the 5 love languages, you were a novice in the family life practice. Now, even that has evolved. You know, I remember one time I was writing a book, I think 2022, and then I referenced a research in it. And I had shared it to some people to just preview the book and give me their thoughts. And one of the people I sent it to was a doctor of social works. And then she looked at it and she said to me, Dimma, that research you reference is good, but it's obsolete. Newer researches have come out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's why you should have people who are constantly in the improvement in your network. So what you knew 20 years ago, all the body of knowledge you knew about family life, because some people will say, what is new? I have been in this work. I have done it for 25 years. I have done it for 35 years. You have done great work, but maybe there are newer research that you should know about added to the one you already know, so that you are not still carrying old typewriter when people have moved on to even having to write virtually on the air. You know, now you can write on the air and somebody is reading what it is. You don't even need laptop to write, scribble anything. So imagine, what if all your tools are like you, trying to get somebody in 2026 to use a typewriter, when we have evolved over that? What if you are still in that zone where you are trying to diagnose things? Meanwhile, now we have chips in people's glasses that can take pictures, record conversations, but you are still carrying that big radio transmitter system that our forefathers were carrying. That's the metaphor that some of our businesses, some of our practice, some of the ways. And it even becomes more frustrating where right now we have a very enlightened generation. Information is at the click of the finger. So that person you're trying to use or outdated method may have more improved, more recent information than you. How do you think it positions you as a professional when you're still talking of research of 50 years ago? Meanwhile, the person has a recent one that came out 5 years ago. So why should they listen to you that your research is outdated? And you know, this crop of people we have now, the Gen Zs, the alpha generation coming up, maybe some of us in the Gen X may swallow our frustration, but they can say it outright and even go out there and tell their friends, don't worry, this one is old school, you don't get anything. It's as if you're sitting with your great-great-great-great-grandfather in therapy. You're sitting with your great-great-grandfather in coaching. And nobody expects that you should have all of the recent developments because you're just one person, but they are churning it out by the second. That's why belonging to a community that promotes continuous development and innovative tools is how you continue to learn. And that's one of the things that FSC will provide for you, because you don't just take the training. After you take the training, you join the community. And then you will see people who are specializing in different areas, in sex, in this, sharing research, sharing insights. You could ask questions about a case you're working on, and you're getting people giving you recent information that could help you. That's how you stay on top. Because if you want to stay in your comfort zone, oh, I'm very good at research, oh, I like to learn, you can't learn everything because you're just this one human being. And why should you stress yourself to learn everything by yourself when you can have a community of thousands of people and tap into their knowledge? That's how to do things in this age where we say motion sensitivity is what it needs. Because all the time you are spending to do research, you should have spent it looking for your clients. But if you do not know how to tap into the knowledge of other people, you may be majoring in a minor that has already been majored by other people, and use that time wisely to now do the work that gives you fulfillment and also be handsomely paid for doing it. Think about it. It makes sense, right? Let's look at the last law. And for me, my most favorite law, and for me, the law that I continue to remind myself as much as I remember to remind myself. See, if you forget everything that I have said so far today, which I don't hope you forget, because I'm sure that every word I'm saying is seasoned and is intentionally being deposited in your subconscious. Even if you want to forget it, you can forget it. Because whether you like it or not, I have kind of put you in a kind of hypnotic trance for the time that you're going to spend with me. And even after your time with me today, you'll still be thinking, where's that woman? Where's that woman? Don't worry. I intentionally put you so that you will not forget me, even if you don't see me after today. So, the law of audacity, what does it say? Ideas are placed on a frequency. God is so gracious that he would not want to save humanity. He would not want to bring an idea that will make life better, no matter even on the level, whether on the macro level, on the micro level, or on a very wide scale level, that he just gives the idea to only me, Chidinma. No, he scatters his ideas all around. So ideas are placed on a frequency, and it is the person who responds with the fastest finger. Listen to me. Fast response, that's number one. But fast response is not enough. That ability to respond fast must, and that's the key word here, be wrapped around enough audacity. Enough audacity, so that you can feel the space in the value chain. I'm sure yesterday when PF was talking, he did show you that there is a lot you can do in the family life space. It's not just having one-on-one. You can be a mediator for government. There's so many things you can do in the value chain. So it's not like, oh, I don't like to talk to people. I don't want to do this one-on-one. One-on-one is the lowest level of even family life practice, because there are other opportunities of how you can scale it up. But you're not scaling it because you have chosen not to activate audacity. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a thought, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then you just come out 1 week, 1 month later, and you're seeing that beautiful idea that you thought, oh, this was a rema for me. This was an out-of-the-body experience. Some other person is already implementing it, and you're wondering, was this person in my dreams? Was this person in my thought? The execution looks almost like a blueprint of what you've been having in your mind. It is because ideas are placed on a frequency. But it's only that person who is ready to take a bold step. It is only that person who is ready to be fearless. It is only that person who is ready to be shameless. See, and I say that with every sense of trueness in it. Everybody you know in family life practice is doing operation test and tweak to a very large extent. Maybe you as a starter, what you are testing may be too much. But even us as an institute, we continue to test our processes and we tweak it because we want to always remain relevant. So you don't say, oh, this idea that came to me, I'm not going to do it yet because it's not fully formed. I'm just a new. Let the people that have already been there for 20 years, who told you that God gives ideas based on longevity on the field? But then, if you relate it with yesterday's talk, you would know that once you have limiting beliefs around you and you are thinking, who am I? How dare I? Can this be me? Who am I to say this? Who am I to do this? What gives me the impetus? You will never activate audacity. So I always say, once you have an idea, and one of the things I have learned about myself that I do, once I have an idea I want to run with, because I know that authenticity is key to me, because I know that based on my person and my personality and my style of work, I always want to do what I say I will do. So my secret of activating audacity is to announce the idea. Because once I've announced the idea, there are people that already know it, and I wouldn't want to disappoint them. But if I keep it in my head, I will keep doing 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 years. I have ideas that have stayed on my table for years. But then when I decided to activate audacity fully, sometime in 2022, I told my husband, I literally, and I mean it till today, I know what I have enough ideas and enough things that I can do every day for the next 10 years. starting 2022. Because all of those ideas that are on my pad, I'm executing them every day, one step at a time. So that's why even when you are actively audacious, you don't have time for gossip. You don't have time for people to engage you in what does not align. Because if I already have what I'll be doing next month, next 2 months, next 3 months, how will you now have space to engage me to come for small talk or to engage me to be doing things that are not aligned? So my dear, what is that idea? Even that's never been done. Nobody in your village has ever done it. Nobody in your church has ever dared it. Nobody in your family has ever imagined it. And that idea has come to you. Run with it. Execute it as imperfectly as it is. That's when you can make the difference. So I'm hoping that for somebody today, even every of those other laws are the mercy of audacity. You can't activate law of borderlessness if you're not audacious, if you're not ready to even be wrong. If you're afraid of failure, then audacity is dead for you because you're trying to perfect it. And we know that perfectionism is another side of low self-esteem. Because if you know that you are a human being and human beings make mistakes, then you are not afraid of making mistakes. So you don't stay there trying to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. And let me shock you. You will never perfect that idea that you don't run with, because improvement of ideas comes from execution. It's when you put it out there and you test run it, then the market gives you feed forward and you know what to improve. But if you keep it in the drawing board, you will keep improving and never get an opportunity to even see what a human being thinks about it. And many a times when you run with it, you are amazed that there is already a sheep, and sheep said in the most transformative way, waiting to hear your voice. And the law of audacity helps you to know that even if God puts these ideas in Nene, puts it in me, puts it in Wura, puts it in 1,000 people, none of us can execute it the same. So if you're saying, oh, maybe this thing I'm doing, Praise for Wowe has been in family life for almost 30 years. He's already doing that. He can only do it as Praise. He can't do it as you. So if you shut your voice because another person is doing it, the sheep that you were sent to, who are meant to hear your voice, listen to you and follow you, will never come to the reality because they were never meant to hear the voice of praise. Okay, which of these rules do you need to activate in your practice? Come to the chat room. This for me is the 2 weakest rules for me. Is it borderlessness? Is it speedy and accurate diagnosis? Is it motion sensitivity? Is it audacity? Is it, which one? I need people to talk. Is it constant or never-ending improvement or audacity? Which particularly 2 rules are you saying? For me, this is where I think if I can improve this, it will make a whole lot of difference in the work that I'm doing. Yemisi says it is audacity on a greater scale. I like how you qualify that. Christiana, motion sensitivity. Tower workout is motion sensitivity and audacity. Okay, all right, so let's move on. So having seen these rules and seeing the ones that you think you need to activate, what's the next step for you? What do you need to do differently? How is FSC going to be that thing that assists you, that helps you to activate these rules? I see a lot of your comments: audacity to start, borderlessness, motion sensitivity. Evelyn said, for me, is all of the above. That's great. Audacity execution, amazing. Okay. All right, so thank you everyone who responded. So let's talk about it. This recent World Cup that ended brought another layer of who is the GOAT? Is it Messi? Is it Ronaldo? And you see how passionately people can almost stake their lives to talk about their favorite footballer. So let's imagine, for example, that Messi and Ronaldo are family life professionals. And you want to be reckoned, you want to be on that pedestal where people are arguing. So let's say, for example, Nene is the Messi, Wura is the Ronaldo, and it's you. People are spending their blood, their resources, their time to be arguing. Is Nene the goat of family life? Is Wura the goat of family life? Think about it on that level. It's only something that can make you that relevant for people to even be talking about you. But let's even leave people talking about you. You yourself, to feel that level of competence, to feel that level of credibility. Because honestly, that's what the world needs. You know, somebody was sharing what she learned yesterday, and she said that one of the things that touched her was when PF was sharing the statistics of the population of people, I think, centrally in Africa, and then the number of family life professionals that equate that. Then you see that indeed, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are not even few. The laborers are almost non-existent compared to the enormosity of the harvest. So it's not just an argument of who is the goat or whatever. It's a clarion call. It's like something that must be done. It's like Africa is dying. Humanity is suffering because the number of qualified and credible people who can do the work of family life is so small. And if you want to put your passion to work, if you want to be among those, when I came in, I said, I want you to be counted as posterity, remembering you as one of the women or the men who rebuilt Africa through effective family systems. And I know what I'm talking about. Do you think maybe when Nancy was giving her testimony, you didn't allow it to sink? Just by encountering her, an entire polygamous family has a new lease of life. People who may have been living disconnected, people who did not even have a collective sense of being, people who never considered having a legacy, irrespective of being born by different mothers, encountered a human being called Nancy, and that changed for them. And that change is forever. Because now they are working on building a legacy. Their children will begin to see a different family. And then with the work she's taught them, how she's leading them, this family is able to pass that on to the next generation, and the other generation continues. Something that maybe didn't happen for years, but is about to change because somebody became an informed and equipped family life professional. Think about it that way. So it's not necessarily you going to the United Nations. It's not necessarily you having to sit with the president of your country. It is that lives will change from yourself, from your family, from your community, from everybody who interacts with you, and everybody they interact with, and everybody the people they interacted with. So you can actually be a catalyst of transformation. That's what this tool can do to you and to the entirety of Africa. So it's not something small. You're not just coming here, I want to be a trained family. You need to understand it on that scale, that you're literally being handed a transformational tool that can traverse generations upon generations. How does that happen? And that's what the FSC approach is about. When we talk about the FSC approach, we don't just talk about, oh, you need to, that's why you're not going to find any one of us talking about, oh, this is what you should advise your clients. As a professional, your work is not, you are not an advisory service. You're literally curating transformations for people. And how do you help transform me when you don't know anything about me? A couple is having a problem and you're telling them, oh, This is what happens when you just marry. When me and my husband married, blah, blah, blah happened. And then we did blah, 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 blah. That's good. But the man in the mirror is not your husband. He wasn't raised by your parents. He didn't go to the school that your husband went to. And so he didn't have the same experience as your husband. So whilst that may have worked for your husband, it's not going to necessarily work for him if it is not adapted to who he is. So your experience is valid. We're not putting it down, but your experience is not a tested solution frame. So if you're going to work with people, you must first of all troubleshoot. Try to find out what happened. Look, from yesterday, you must have had some aha moments when you were looking at those people who were dressed differently, and you started to have an opinion about the lady who you said looked like a prostitute. You saw that person who dressed religiously but could be an armed robber. So you were just forming opinions about them because of their fashion. But when you troubleshoot, you meet the real person irrespective of what you're seeing outwardly. And that's when you can interpret. That's when you can interpret what you're seeing. And based on the interpretations, you can now help them build systems. That's how you can work on a transformational level with people. It's not enough to tell them, you know, oh, a wise woman builds her home. Don't get me started on that quote, please. How does a wise woman who subconsciously doesn't even feel wise build any home? How does a wise woman who feels, you know what, just being in this life is just a favor I don't merit, and is still dealing with her own demons, how does she raise any family? So if you don't troubleshoot, if you don't interpret, you can't help people to build systems. Therefore, let me introduce you to how FSC framework works. And whilst I'm telling you all of this, keep your mind on all of the laws that we've looked at and begin to see, okay, I see how this can help me activate that law. So for us, as the Institute of Family Engineering and Development, we have a central goal. And that goal is to raise a healthy society. And how do we raise a healthy society? Is by producing competent family life practitioners who can now assist couples across different cultures build, sustainable family systems that work. That's how we can change anything. The person who is in government is from a family. The person who is an armed robber is from a family. So any dysfunction you want to correct in society, you must first begin to correct it on the family level, because that's the production factory of every society, which is why for us to achieve our goal of a healthier society, we are focused on raising family life practitioners who can now go across cultures to work with the people. So first of all, we start with strategic objectives. So the practitioners themselves, I'm sure you have listened to the people who share testimony. They said that, oh, I came to become a practitioner, but then I started to use the tools for myself. So that's the first level. You, as the person coming to help others, you have to experience personal wholeness. And this process helps you do that. Because how can somebody who is anemic donate blood? You don't have blood. Your eye is turning you. You don't even understand how to live fully. And you're coming to teach somebody how to live fully. Yes, I know that there is a science. There are tools you can use. But let me tell you the secret of transformational work. It is your lived experience being in sync with the professionalism that you're doing, because there is a level of conviction that comes from your voice, that comes from your physiology, that follows somebody who is living the experience. I'm not saying that someone who is having issues in marriage cannot do family life. They can, but I can also tell you that if you're working and improving yourself and your marriage, there is an audacity and a conviction that comes from that cannot be found otherwise. So this process will first of all heal you, will first of all help you to activate that wholesome life. And then you begin to master the power of meaning so you can help people to live above stress and external aggression. There is a way of being that the heaven in you is preserved, irrespective of the hell happening around you. It's not magic. When we look at this monks and this monks and all of these mystic spiritual healers, and there is a sense of serenity, there's a sense of stillness in their lives, even if it looks like the world is collapsing. It's because there is a science to it. And if you learn it, you can stay in the chaos in the world, the chaos in families, the chaos around, without you altering your inner peace. So that's part of what you will learn on how to activate the power of meaning. Then you also now move on to discovering how were people engineered? What has formed this person? When God created man, he looked at man as in mankind and said, it is good. It means that everybody is inherently good until something came to convince them otherwise. So when you're working with any human being, whether a man is a wife beater, your first curiosity is, how can this man who was created good by God turn out this way? Somewhere along the line of his life, something happened that altered the God likeness in him. So if I'm ever going to help him change, I must understand, where did this alteration happen, so that I can go to help him rework it from the roots. Because it's not enough to tell him, you know what, you need to be able to manage your anger. You need to go for anger management classes. If your wife is doing something and you just imagine that you have water in your mouth, and then you can, all of that are mechanisms, all of that are behaviors. But I'm sure yesterday convinced you that underneath those behaviors are beliefs. But the challenge is that a lot of people want to help people, and you go on telling them the things they should start doing when you have not yet found out what made them step outside of the godliness in him, the God nature in them. That when I'm able to find what made that person step out of the God nature, my first work is to first of all show the person where things went the other way and help to reconnect them back to their true nature. It is only then that any intervention can work. And that's part of what you learn in this process. Then the practitioners are able to profile and diagnose clients and write reports. These days, Oyela.ai is there. Whilst you would learn in class how to write reports so that you can understand the mechanics of it, Oyela.ai does the whole work for you. It just, your clients take the assessment, the result is produced for them instantly, and your work is now to review it. But you must understand what the report is, what the test is testing, what the report's analyzed, so that you can now debrief them on it. So practitioners, you are able to move from subjectivity. You don't just see somebody, or maybe from their story, or maybe their story looks familiar, or maybe one cultural practice that has not been systemized. You are now working more from a science-based approach. You understand different personalities, what triggers them. You are able to independently analyze and give solutions. Like I said, you would now understand the root cause and origin of people's problems because of the methodology that you will be taught. And you have a broader perspective to family life, so that ultimately you can work with clients to build systems and be professional in your approach. You are also able to clearly decipher how systems work and how to build counter system. Because if somebody, I was talking to someone some time ago, and then they wanted to work with a couple who were dealing with infidelity issues, and she ran into some challenges, and she was trying to run a process through me. And I'm like, okay, so tell me what you've done, where you're at, and all of that. And she just has been focusing on reconciling the people, getting them to forgive and all of that, which is good. But there is a layer of infidelity that has to happen for that to happen. And why am I sharing that? Is it if you understand systems, you know how to build counter systems. Everybody who does a bad thing is doing it for a good reason. I don't know if somebody heard that and your mind went, eh? The man who is stealing is bad because societally, it is you taking something that you didn't work for and disrupting the society. But underneath the stealing, that stealing is to serve a supposedly good purpose, maybe to serve hunger for him, maybe to serve a sense of wealth, a sense of provision. If somebody wants to provide for their family, is that a bad thing? Certainly not. But he's going through a bad route to get that good thing. That's the same thing with infidelity. There is something that someone is craving that infidelity serves for them. So if you're going to help somebody come out of infidelity, you must have a process to understand what that infidelity is feeding for the person and give them a counter system, because until they're able to get that thing they're getting from the infidelity from other healthy alternatives, no matter what you do with them, they will go back to the infidelity because it is serving a concrete need for them. So that was why I was telling her, you need to work separately with the particular spouse who is having this unfaithful stuff away from their partner, so that you can hear from them what this is giving to them and then discuss alternative measures which they can get that from. That's systems intelligence, that understanding that you don't wish away systems, you don't pray away systems, you replace systems with superior systems. And that's one of the things you're going to learn. So practitioners understand concepts and systems responsible for societal decadence, including errors, assumptions, and culture. I could go on and on and on, but I'm sure that as we continue this conversation, you're already saying, I've heard enough. Just tell me how I can take this training and become this credible, competent practitioner, because that's what everybody here should be talking about at this time. Because again, like I said, the assessment will help you diagnose. You are able to review this, do review session and clarify the challenge with the report, and then you build their coaching sessions, what they need. Now, not based on what you think they need, but based on what you have found out. I always like to liken the work we do with the medical practice. When somebody comes to a doctor and just complains about with what they are noticing, the signs, the symptoms, the doctor is taking notes. But then before he would even make any give you any medications or tell you what to do, he's likely going to say, you know, you need to run some tests. And based on what you have said to me, this is kind of test 1, test 2, test 3. Even if the doctor is suspecting something, if you've had time to look at their case files, they will write what they are suspecting, and some of them put a question mark because they've not yet authenticated that that is what is going on. But from what you are saying, it looks like. And then when you go for the test and bring the results, based on the results, then they know, okay, this is that thing I was suspecting, or no, it's not this, but based on the result, this is the medication I'm giving you. That's the same way family life practice works. You shouldn't go on advising people when you've not done any form of diagnostics to know what exactly they are dealing with. Again, like we say, we don't just help you to diagnose. We also give you templates that you can work with. So imagine a family is trying to build an improved family. They want their family to look like that family they dream about, irrespective of where they are coming from, irrespective of the marital formation that they currently have. There is a robust coaching template you can use. And all of this is taught you in the class because you can get them starting from their talent, vision, values, skill, purpose, everything that it requires to put that their dream into practicality and create baby steps, action steps, routines and rituals, traditions, and stuff they will be doing as a family to actualize that dream team that they want. What else should I tell you about FSC? You will discover your own engineering system and how to re-engineer yourself. You will master how to become a professional family life practitioner. I've been talking about that. Who can solve complex problems with ease. You understand how to use the family systems tools and accurately diagnose. This one is even less than 20 minutes now because Oyela gives you the result instantly. Once your client takes the assessment and clicks submit, in an instant, the result is in their email. So we need to even update this to say you get the result instantly. And then not only that, you belong to a new tribe of people working together to create a new continent. So I think at this point, is one critical question I need to ask you. Based on what we discussed yesterday and what we have discussed today, on a personal level, what will you do differently to build the family life practice of your dreams? That you feel called to do this work, you feel passionate about it, or maybe your professional training also equips you to do it, and you don't have a structure, you don't know what to do, you don't even belong to a family, a tribe where they take this work so seriously, and you're wondering, based on what I learned yesterday, based on what I learned today, this is what I think I need to do differently. What would that be for you? So that you're able to help humanity create long-lasting transformational changes. If what you're thinking is, oh, I need to be trained in this approach. If what you're thinking is, I may have been doing this well, but I need to do it better. I think somebody said, I want to activate Audacity at a greater level. Maybe you've been doing this work, you have track record, you have evidence of the work you're doing, but you're saying, I think there is a newer level I need to get to. Then this is that training you need to take. Maybe you've been like, oh, I want to do family life, but you know what? I don't even know where to start. Like Nancy, who was passionate about even finding something to improve her family, and she stumbled on this, and here she is today. I don't know your entry point. Existing, aspiring, novice, already producing results, no matter where you are, this course will serve you. So if you want to take FSC and join us to produce the most competent family life professionals that humanity needs, so that you can access them from anywhere across the world, like Christiana, who says, I need to take the training, let me tell you how you can take the training. So the next batch is starting, when is the next batch starting? September 18th. Which is some weeks from now, right? Almost 3 weeks plus from now. And it is a 3 months, you spend 3 months in class. It's fully virtual, so you don't need to travel. You can take the course from anywhere you are across the world. Remember the law of borderlessness. So you join the batch. We have classes every Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. West African time. It is recorded. You have access to the recording in case you miss class, but I will tell you, we also are, we want to give the best to Africa. So whilst life may happen and you may miss class, it's most advisable that you don't miss class so that you can get the real gist of it. And then you are also enrolled to the portal where you can watch the courses. There are several, each week you have a course to watch, then come into class for it to be discussed, and it will run for 3 months. The classwork will run for 3 months before you are now coming. Oh my goodness, this is 2026. I was editing it from, thank you so much for pointing that out. We have moved. We are no more in 2025. So I'll just quickly change that so that it's not confusing for the people who are here or those who watch the replay. All right, thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate. Okay, so I want to take the training. I'm ready to jump into this. This is a robust work. A lot of things have been put into it. Then this is that opportunity for you. Right now, this course is selling for 700,000 naira, or is equivalent in USD, pounds, or whatever your own local currency is. There's provision for you to pay whichever way. But with the Nigerian currency, it's at 700,000. And what does this 700,000 give you? Let me tell you, so that I can tell you that there isn't something like this anywhere, and you can take that to the bank. If you have, you know, like one of the incumbent, oh, not incumbent, let's leave politics out of that. I wanted to talk about, you can go and verify. If you have, you know, we said that with a system, the way to win a system is with a counter system. So this explanation I'm going to give to you, if you have one that supersedes it, please bring the argument on and we can trash it out, because I know the value that is put into this work. Number one, you get to take the training for 3 months, and you have access to the Academy's portal. You also have the review classes on Fridays. Number two, whilst you're taking the training, you are divided into subgroups, and your subgroups are very smaller numbers of people in each subgroups, and you have a dedicated mentor assigned to you. Aside from the classes that you have on Fridays, your mentor is assigned to be with you for 6 months. What are they doing for 6 months? First 3 months when you're in class. So even if there are concepts you didn't understand in class and you want somebody to explain it further, or you need deeper insight, your mentor is there throughout that time to provide that. Some of the home plays you will be given, your mentor will grade it and give you feed forward so that you know how to improve. And after you take the class for 3 months, your mentor is also still with you for another 3 months. When class has ended, you still have access to that mentor, who is now helping you to master the approach. You're doing your field work, because you're going to do field work after that, your practicum, you still have your mentor. I have taken lots of professional courses internationally and otherwise. I don't know any course that for the registration fee, you also get a mentor attached for you at this ridiculous price for 6 months. That was why I said, if you have any, bring it. Let's look at it. So this is the best price you can get for the offer that is on the table. But because you have stayed with us, yesterday you were here, today you are here, and you want to take this training with the batch starting on the 18th of September, you get a one-time deal to just pay 600,000 at once, and you're saving 100,000. That is a good deal. I'm sure the team has put it on the chat room on how you can access these payment options. Then we have options for installment. Somebody is here. Oh, I want to take the one-time deal. I don't want to pay 700. I still want to pay 600, but I can't pay the 600 at once. It's fine. You can pay 200,000 and then pay the balance of 400,000 within 1 week, and you still get the 600. So you don't need to pay 600 now, but the total 600 needs to be paid within 1 week. I think that's also a good deal. Then lastly, I want to take the training. I don't have, I think I put something wrong there before admin is going to bite off my head, though, because that second option, give me a minute. That second option, it's, okay, I knew there was an error there. The second option is for you to pay in installment, but its installment is 700,000, but you don't need to pay it at once. So you're going to pay 500 at now, and then you spread your balance of, you're going to pay 200 now and spread your balance of 500 throughout the duration of the course. So you really want to take this course. Maybe right now, your financial planning does not accommodate the 600 within 1 week. It's fine. We have provisions for every levels of entry. You can pay 200,000 and then your balance of 500,000, you have the whole 3 months of the course to pay it via installments. This is because we don't want money to be the reason why you don't come on this side to join the train of the credible and competent coaches. And I'll be excited to be welcoming you into class when you register to take this course, and we can, train you and you can become a competent family life practitioner. If this makes sense to you and you're ready to take this training, you cannot wait to become one of the people who will be reckoned in Africa, whether you live in Africa or you live in the diaspora. Please come to the chat room and give me a thumbs up, because I will shortly. Nena, am I taking questions? So I'm handing over to you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much, Director. That was very subtle. You are right. It's the way you talked, it was just going in like drip. Thank you very much for just passionately talking about some of the things that we need to be conscious of as practitioners. If you have any questions like we did, please just put your hand up and we will take your question. Any question? Tawakalt, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. Can you unmute your mic and ask your question?
Good evening.
Good evening. I can hear you. I can hear you. Please go on.
Okay. I appreciate the session today. Though I was unable to attend yesterday, but even the one that I got today, I'm greatly impressed, and more like she's saying everything I need, because I'm like, in my mind these days, I'm like, how do I position myself to be able to give this value that I want to give? That positioning and everything she said today kind of summarized what I need. But the issue I have now is I have a lot on my plate at this moment. So now my question now is, after this session, as in this training for now, the one starting by September, is there another class after that? Probably I will have taken the time to clear whatever it is that I'm busy with right now, because once I want to do this with full concentration and everything.
All right, thank you so much. This is the last for this year, and like he said, like Mr. Power said during the last webinar, it wouldn't remain at this price. The tuition fees will go up by next year, so that's why we're encouraging. But if your plate is full, that's understandable. It's just this is the last one for this year, and subsequently we'll have other ones as from 2027. Reverend, you can unmute your mic.
Nene, I want to add to what she asked.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you for that question. And like understandably so, if your plate is full and you don't want to take on so much, it's great. But like Nene said, the cost price will go up next year. So you can either do two things. It's either you pay the current price now and then take your training next year. The calendar will be out before the end of the year. So if you have registered, you will get emails and you will know the trainings. We usually have 3 to 4 trainings yearly. So there will be other trainings next year, but you can lock down this current price by making payment. It's either you're making the full payment of 600 now, or you can talk to any of those numbers there and make half of the payment to lock it in, so that even next year, if the price has gone up, you are not affected by it. You just pay the balance because you've already made a commitment. I just wanted to add that.
I appreciate the clarification, Director. Reverend, you have a question?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Nan. My question is, what do we acquire after the course? Are we getting degrees, diplomas? What is it that you give after the course?
Okay, so you get a certificate as a certified family systems engineering practitioner, and that is what you're currently going to get. You get certified, and then you can, many of our practitioners are working across, like Nene is transmitting right now from North America in Canada, and she's using her certification there. That's where she's joining this call from. And several other people, you just listen to Nancy, who is in Cameroon, and many other people who are across the globe. So you become certified, and that certificate can even get you opportunities for some professional master's level programs across the globe, and also recognizably build a practice from wherever you are at.
Okay, maybe the other question is, if you're already a practitioner certified by another institution, do you also consider that in taking in, when you're about to take a course with you, probably the idea is to be partnering? Because what I have seen, the type of stuff that you guys have is advanced. And I liked the part where you'll be able to be motion sensitivity, because this is an area which I am lagging on. So I don't know what we can do, probably in the lines of partnership and also improving in the areas where I felt there is need to put fillers from your institution. Thank you.
Okay, maybe I need to understand what you need by partnering. Do you want your organization to partner with the institute to help you make your processes and your curriculum more robust, or are you asking that based on the certification you already have, if you're going to be taking the entire course afresh, or that will be recognized and then you just have some other fewer modules to take? So there are two different questions. So I will answer the two, whichever one it is. So if you're talking about your organization where you were trained, partnering with us to make yours more robust, that is outside the context of this webinar. You can, make connection with us and we can discuss that on that level, how we can assist you to make yours more robust. But then if you're talking about you as an individual taking this course, irrespective of the certification you have, we recognize your certification, it's valid, but you're going to have to take the entirety of this course, because the way the course is structured, Module 1 builds to Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. We do not have any exemptions of what you would take based on your past certification, which is acknowledged, which is valid, but you have to take this course totally, completely from start to finish.
Thank you very much. Actually, you have answered it well, because I want it from the two dynamics where the organization is coming to, which we can now do on bilateral, and then the personal one is answered. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you very much for that response, Director, as well. Any other question? I think we can take one more. Any other question? Director, is it okay if we take one more question?
Yeah, that would be the last, because
okay.
of time.
Okay. Any other question? Let me go through the chat box and see. Okay, in the absence of no question, what that means is that she did a brilliant job as always. And if for any reason you remember any question, the admin has dropped some numbers in the chat box. Please reach out to the number. There's also a group. Admin, please share the WhatsApp group for those that are not on the WhatsApp group so they can join. If they have any questions, they can put it there. There is the webinar, the SOA WhatsApp group you can join. If you go on Instagram, we have our handles there at iFed Academy. You can ask your questions there. You can also follow I Am Praise for Wowe and ask your questions there as well. You can also follow the director as well. There are several expressions of this program, like I said, and there are several ways you can ask your questions or just follow. The beyond the certification, one thing that I have leveraged on in this network is the people. The human resources here is, you can't quantify it, it's unquantifiable. So I would highly recommend that you put this into consideration. Do all you can. If you want to, spread out the payment, if you want to do it last, I didn't even know that was an option. And thank you so much for that. So if it's something you're considering doing now or doing next year, please make that call right now. Reach out to the admins and they would gladly help you. They are trained for this. Somebody's asking, what is the SOA group? So there's a WhatsApp group where information on the open house like this is being held, is being broadcasted. There's a WhatsApp group where information on the next class is also being posted. So admin, could you post the WhatsApp group in the chat box so those that are not there can join in and get more information? On that note, we want to say thank you to everyone that joined. Hopefully by this time, before the next webinar, you'll be singing a new song. Somebody will be thanking you for inviting them. And you would also be featured as one of our coaches that would share their stories passionately. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you in class. Thank you very much, admin. Awesome. Thank you. Bye, everyone.